Good morning, students. Today we are going to do plant tissue part 3. Now in this we are going to do epidermis. Now, epidermis is also simple permanent tissue. Now let us first understand what does the term epidermis means. Now epi means upon, enderma means skin, and its main function is protection. So where is epidermis present? It forms actually the skin of a plant. It is the outer surface of the plant. That means it's the outer surface of a stem, outer surface of a leaf, and outer surface of a root. In the aerial parts of the plant, epidermis secretes a waxy coating called cuticle. Now, what is the function of this cuticle? Cuticle prevents water loss. It prevents the water from evaporating. Also, it prevents the plant from any mechanical injury, and it also prevents the from the invasion of parasitic fungi. So its main function is protection. Cells of epidermal tissue form a continuous layer without any intercellular spaces. Next we come to epidermis of the leaf. Epidermis of the leaf contains large number of minute openings. That means there are large number of small holes on the underside of the leaf more, and few on the upper side of the leaf. Students, these holes are not visible to us with our naked eye, and these holes are called stomata. Now what are these stomata? Pores are enclosed by two kidney-shaped cells called guard cells. These guard cells can open the stomata and can close the stomata. Now, what is the function of these stomatal pores? There are two functions of the stomatal pores. Number one, gaseous exchange. All the gases that are required by the plant are taken up through stomata, and all the gases that has to be thrown out of the plant are released out through stomata. Second function of the stomatal pore is transpiration. Now what's transpiration? The loss of water in the form of water vapor from the aerial parts of the plant is called transpiration. So the excess water evaporates out through these holes, which are called stomatal pores. These are present in the epidermis of leaf. Now here I would like to tell you, students, that in the epidermis of the root, there are very fine hair-like projections which are called root hair. And what's the function of the root hair? The function of the root hair is to help in the absorption of water from the soil. Now we are going to study about the cork tissue. Now students, as the plant grows older, the outer protective tissue undergoes certain changes. You must have seen that the outer layer of a branch of a tree is different from the outer layer of a young stem. Now what happens when the plant grows older? At that time, the outer protective tissue is undergoing changes, and a strip of secondary meristem, which is located in the cortex, forms the layers of cells. It forms layers of cells which make up the cork. Now let's study about the cells of the cork tissue. The cells of the cork tissue are dead and are compactly arranged. They are very tightly packed and they do not have any intercellular spaces between them. They have a substance called suberin in their walls, and this substance makes them impervious to gases and water. Now what do we mean by impervious to gases and water? That means it prevents the flow of gases and water. Now let's come to the complex permanent tissue. Now how are complex permanent tissue different from simple permanent tissue? Now simple permanent tissue were made up of single type of cells, whereas in complex permanent tissue, the one tissue is made up of more than one type of cells, and then they are called complex permanent tissues. There are two complex permanent tissues in plants, and they are xylem and phloem. So let's study about xylem and phloem. Xylem and phloem both are made up of more than one type of cells which work together as a unit. They are known as conducting tissue, and together they are also called vascular tissue. So let's study about the components of xylem and components of phloem. Now xylem is composed of four types of cells: tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma, and xylem fibers. Tracheids and vessels have thick walls and are dead when they mature. Tracheids and vessels are tubular structures. They are just like tubes which conduct water and minerals from the roots to the leaves. Now, in this xylem, there is conduction in one direction, that is from roots to the leaves. The xylem parenchyma stores food, and xylem fibers are mainly supportive in function. So let's study now phloem tissue. Phloem consists of 5 types of cells: sieve cells, sieve tubes, companion cells, and phloem fibers, and phloem parenchyma. Sieve tubes are tubular cells. They are just like tubes, but they have perforated walls. That means there are holes in the walls. Phloem transports food from leaves to the other parts of the plant. So that means it transports food both upward as well as downward. So conduction in phloem takes place in two directions, upward as well as in downward direction. Except phloem fibers, other phloem cells are living cells. So this is about the components of xylem and phloem. Thank you.